Hello viewers and welcome back to McElroy's Motors, the home of the weird, the boring, the projects, and the adventures. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You are joining me at Suma Akron City Hospital because I took my grandfather here for a cardiovascular appointment, but we are here for part 4 of my 1990 Eagle Premier's restoration. As you can see, the restoration is coming along very nicely, and being silver, well, mostly silver, the car is bringing back all the memories. But today, we're going to be replacing all 4 of the taillight bulbs because, unfortunately, one of the taillight bulbs had completely shattered when I was trying to change it. And the other one, the brand new bulb, had fallen, and that also shattered. So I couldn't win either way. So we're not going to be doing any painting at all today because of the weather that simply will not stop being, well, the weather. It's either sunny, muggy, sunny, rainy, but either way, it just won't make up its mind. So it is now time to cue the music. Stands out absolutely everywhere. Now, the common joke with living here in Ohio is if you do not like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. I literally have been home about 15 minutes, and as you can see, it is bright, beautiful, and sunny again, void of any precipitation at all. So we're going to get underneath the hood of my Eagle Premier and disconnect the battery because, let's just say, I don't want to be shocked or risk electrical damage to any of the electrical components in what is a very rare 37-year-old car. Right, I found my precious vice grips here. Time to get underneath the hood and disconnect the battery. It only took me, 15 minutes to find my vice grips? I swear I'm very organized. Oh, hello PRV, my old friend. Now trying to get these vice grips open. Oh, that was actually really easy. I didn't break them. I didn't. And just like that, her battery is disconnected. Oh my god, she's dead! Relax. I'm a professional. I can handle this. Now, with the battery being disconnected, I can say that the electronic trunk release in this car is now officially useless. But luckily, I can use the key to get inside the trunk, which you have to do in order to change the bulbs out. So, I'm going to have to remove my basket of many things and start on work. So, in terms of the bulbs I bought, I had one of 2 options here. One was some cheap LED bulbs, which I think do not suit the character of the car at all, or I could buy some Sylvania Long Life 2057 bulbs. And I figured, you know what, this is an 80s designed car, I am not putting LEDs in this, no matter how many times people ask me. So, I'm sure these will do the trick just fine. Now, it is the left turn signal on the left taillight that needs replacing. But I'm just going to replace all 4 bulbs because when you replace one, you might as well replace all. So I figured it would just be easier for the car because I have no idea how old these bulbs are, and I imagine they are pretty old if one is going to completely shatter on me as I'm trying to change it. So might as well just get new bulbs and knock them out. And talk about perfect timing. When I went to O'Reilly's earlier today, not only did I buy 2 packs of these because I have to change 4 bulbs, but that was the last ones they had. But one thing I love about this car is it says here in the trunk, it says, caution, see authorized AMC dealer for proper trailer wiring harness installation. Well, I guess I gotta go to an AMC dealership to start towing with this thing. An AMC dealership has not existed since 1987. Where do I go for that? Because this thing was sold by Chrysler, and Chrysler doesn't want anything to do with these cars anymore. I also want you guys to keep one thing in mind, viewers. When it comes to restoring this car, I don't want it to look showroom fresh. This car is almost 40 years old and filled with history. I mean, to have one company go belly up and being bought out by Chrysler and then another car company faced a assassination of its CEO, George Best. There's a lot of history with this car, and I want to preserve it as much as possible while making it look like my first car. Albeit if I had it for 10 years, which is something I cannot say about my first car, because what had happened to my first car, unfortunately, I took it to a buddy of mine's house, and he was living with his roommate at the time. And there was always that point in our lives where we're just young, stupid, or perhaps both. And the roommate, unfortunately, vandalized my first car beyond repair. He cut all the coolant pipes, he cut all the radiator hoses, he slashed all 4 of the tires, and let's just say it wasn't a good day. The car was leaking more fluids than a grandma with bladder issues, and it just was no fun to transfer the title over to him. It was a very sad day. But, hey, I got my first car again, so I can't complain. Besides, that was 10 years ago. Best thing you can do is keep calm and move forward. But like I said, I don't want this car to look factory fresh. I just want it to look like my first car in any way possible, and having the car means more to me than itself. So I'm just trying to replicate it as best I can with what little is available. That's 2 bolts out. I am not looking forward to getting the 4th bolt out. I'm working on bolt number 3, which is right next to this trunk gasket right here, so it's pretty easy to get to. Just takes time. Twist, 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 twist. There it goes. It's out. It's out. Hopefully I don't have any more bulbs that shatter on me. That was disastrous. Alright, last bolt should be coming out any second. Come on. There it is. And this thing should just slide right out. Come on. I say slide right out, more like you have to kind of be careful with it. Because Chrysler. Now, one thing I will own up to real quick before I take this out. I said in the video by Auto Atlantica that this thing has Chrysler electrics, being a 1990 model. I was wrong. They switched over to Chrysler electrics for the 1991 model year, so this 1990 model still has Renault electrics. Famous for one thing, being generally unreliable. Alright, get this thing out. Come on. Surrender! Please! Please surrender. Okay, that's out. Almost. Maybe. Yes. Come to Papa. There it is. Whew! That is dusty. Disgusting. So, let's get the bulb out. Come on. Come on. Alright, that's one bulb. That is 2 bulbs, maybe. Come on. I have to get this out first. There we go. And that is out. Alright, set the cluster down. And also, when you're changing a taillight bulb, or in fact any automotive bulb on the outside, you don't want to touch the metal bit. You just want to grab it by the glass and just be very gentle. I also bought some taillight grease as well. So those are out. I'm going to throw those away eventually. Alright. This time I'm going to open up the new precious bulbs. Oh! Woo! That was close. That could have shattered. Thank God it didn't. Alright. I do see some grease inside the taillight housing, so I'm just going to connect these up here. So these should be okay. And put everything back together. This tiny little taillight bulb here is always a bit of a pain, but that's okay. I'm used to a car that's a bit of a pain. Classic case in point with this, try to find parts for. Get in, please. Get in. Sorry for shouting. Sometimes it's a requirement. Ah, you dingleberry. Of course you had to fall in. Of course you had to fall in. The bulb fell into the cluster. Trying to figure out if these are Renault taillight bezels right here. I doubt they are, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I am planning on replacing these taillight assemblies anyway, if I can find one, that is, because needless to say they are a bit cloudy and not the brightest in the business, but the plane does nothing. I mean, at least they work. Golly, most of that is dusty. Just hoping a spider does not jump out on me, otherwise I would scream like an emancipated toddler. Or perhaps castrated. I should not say that on YouTube. Don't sue me. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Well, as you guys can see, I finally got my right turn signal working as good as it should. That didn't take me any time at all. Okay, I'm a big ass liar. That took me an hour and a half to change 2 bulbs. Wow. Because French cars. Let's move on to the driver's side. Now, unfortunately, you can see the damage caused by that gigantic Ford that hit me at the AutoZone when I was working on restoration. Am I mad about it? Yes. But what can you do now? Because by the time I realized the damage was there, he was already long gone. Who knows if he had insurance or not. But it just showed that he was not careful driving around that big 70s behemoth. So, like I said, I am planning on replacing the taillight housings anyway, because they are either faded or just filled with God knows what from sitting inside that garage in Pennsylvania. So, I'm not too mad about it, but I do have the piece that broke off. It is actually somewhere along my mess, but I just use electrical tape just to try to make it look decent until I get replacements, because where do you get replacements for these? They're not easy to come by. So anyway, let's get this driver's side taillight out and replace the bulbs. And it also didn't help that the bulbs kept falling out into the housings themselves, which was not fun. So I'm hoping I don't have that same problem here. And that's 2 bolts out. How in the heck did 3 get on there? Did I put 2 bolts into the same place? I guess I might have. Because I am such a clever man. Alright, last bolt. And this thing should just slide right out. Hopefully with more poise and grace than the last one. Does it slide out easy? Much easier. Oh god, there's a spider. Okay. Yeah, shoot! Ah! No, okay. So now let's see if it works. Gotta hook up the battery a second time. Because, of course. Alright. And do I have both bulbs flashing? Yes, I do! Woohoo! Now time to put everything back together and hopefully nothing falls off. Alright, that's 1. And eventually we'll have 2. When I say eventually, I mean by the time I look like Albus Dumbledore. I know I look like a blonde-haired, anorexic version of Harry Potter, so at least I'm on the right path. Come on. Get on there, you stupid connection. Come on. And I know I'll probably have my butt facing the camera, but you guys have to deal with that. Oh, it's flashing back. It's flashing fast again. This is not that difficult. I've owned 4 of these cars. Oh, it's flashing fast again. I've owned 4 of these cars. How hard can it be to put this back in? I will tell you one thing though, viewers. Did my car just die? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, interesting fact about the Eagle Premier. You can definitely tell this was meant for older clientele when I did not turn off the turn signal at all so I could see what I'm doing. And this car actually has a unique feature where if you do not turn off your turn signal on your own, let's say you forgot it's still running, it will automatically shut off after like 5 minutes, which I think is really clever. Saves you from looking like an old man driving down the highway. So I'm going to turn it back on and see what happens. This was an extremely clever car. I completely forgot the Eagle Premier actually did that. And I have owned 4 of these over the years. Oh, come on, you stupid bulb. It would be even more clever if this bulb would work properly, which sometimes it just doesn't want to. Stop gouging my finger, you blithering imbecile. And it's blinking fast again. This bulb just doesn't want to go back into its home. Truthfully, I don't want to go back into my home either. It's such a wonderful day. But I know I got to wash up because my hands are soaked in grease and God knows what else has been on these taillight clusters for the last 37 years. Come on. I don't know if it's the socket at this point because it's really starting to, like, I just do make one tiny movement and it stops working again. I told you these cars are known for electrical problems. I'm hoping to God this is not the start of mine. Because honestly, everything on this car works as well as it should apart from the air conditioning. And that's because it's just out of R12 refrigerant, not because of me being careless or having a faulty car. But I just hope this is not the start of my electrical gremlins. Because if that's the case, who knows what I'm in for. Why is it flashing quickly when I have the bulbs both working? This bulb's about to burn out! And this one doesn't work at all. Well, I finally got the left turn signal to work properly. That bulb wasn't the right size. So I swapped all the bulbs out for bulbs that actually fit, and hey presto, everything's back to normal again. If you guys want to know just how much of a pain in the neck it is to put a taillight assembly back into an Eagle Premier, well, let me tell you. Imagine yourself trying to screw in a light bulb up on your ceiling at home while being up on a stepladder, while your hands and feet are covered in copious amounts of either butter or soap. It just doesn't want to go right back in right away. I'm sure it's not rocket science, but this is taking a heck of a lot longer than I thought it would. Now time to put everything back together and go for a test drive. Right turn signal is working as good as it should. I think things are back to normal. I spent so much time working on this car to the point when I tried starting it, the battery was dead. Despite me disconnecting it, I had to reconnect it to make sure my turn signals were working properly. Thank God my neighbor across the street, Kate, was willing to give me a jump start. Now we're turning onto my street. And time to test the left turn signal, see if it flashes quickly. And it doesn't. I don't have to reset the service monitor on this car. Everything seems good so far. But I'm going to let it run so it can charge a little bit more, put everything back in the car where it belongs. And I am fully aware that the left taillight assembly is a little off-center, but I'll fix that at some point. But, as always, viewers, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more content if you haven't done so already. And I would look forward to seeing you guys in an upcoming video. Take care, everybody. That's what I call a success. With my pervert power license plate. Ha!